All right, let's get this started. Actually, I'm gonna do sub-only chat on TikTok to start. I need a Red Bull. And I need to put some sugar frees in here. Give me the sugar free. Check, check. Check. Check, check. That looks good. Looks good. Check, check. Check, check, check. All right, looks good. Looks good to me. The levels look good. I don't like that my closet's slightly open. Freaks me out. Let's fix that. All right. What's going on, chat? What you see here is a slight hatch zone. This area could experience what we call gorilla hail. 4-inch in diameter or more, grapefruit size. I think I said in one of my videos the other day, 2-inch plus. It's 4-inch plus. We do have a severe thunderstorm. Ping pong ball size hail. 60-mile-per-hour winds heading up to the northeast towards Dallas-Fort Worth. Right towards Fort Worth right now. Let's dive into here, why don't we? And let's see a little bit of rotation there. Not much. You could, I mean, a little bit of shear. We don't not necessarily know that it's rotation. A little bit of wind shear down there at the surface. Ooh, that looks like a hail core to me. These pinks are extremely high cloud tops. Extremely high cloud tops. The higher the cloud tops are, the stronger the updrafts are. The stronger the updrafts, every time rain's falling, it gets yanked back up. It freezes in the upper atmosphere. It falls. It gets yanked back up again until the ice is too heavy, is heavier, or heavy enough so that the updraft doesn't pull it back up. But with strong updrafts, it'll keep pulling it back up. That's what gives you gorilla hail. Looks like it'll be bad in Sellersburg, Indiana tomorrow. Yeah. Listen. When you get these big severe, when you get these big zones like this, not everywhere is going to see, I mean, everywhere's going to see thunderstorms and a little bit of wind. Not everyone's going to see hail or tornadoes down this line. Some people won't even see any sort of severe thunderstorms. Because, they're, you'll see the main 30-minute squall line that's going to rip through, but you're not everyone's guaranteed to see the worst weather. So, right now, though, we are very close to seeing a pretty potentially decent. Here's our tornado outlook right here. Our hail one's a little bit more interesting to me, and you can see where the tornadoes are going to be. Oklahoma City to Tulsa. Interesting area for potential tornadic activity. So, appreciate the 2 people who ever followed me. Thanks, Malik. I have it on sub chat only right now. I'm gonna switch it to. I'm gonna open up the chat a little bit later. It's just my brain hurts right now, and I don't want my chat flying. Before the main event starts. The main event meaning the severe weather starts to ignite here. Looking like the Louisville area will be interesting tomorrow night for sure. I agree. What's going to happen here? Is anyone out here? Is anyone? Well, I guess no one can really talk except for my subs. Where is the sun right now? Where is the sun? Let me check. Let me go to windy. As soon as the sun sets, the upper atmosphere will cool. And that will create some instability. Okay, so the sun is getting close to setting. Let's take a look at the sun. Here's what's going on with our sun. So the sun's set. It's already set where I am out east. You can kind of see it. Here's the line. That's the line right there where the sun is. Where the sun is set. Ish. Here's our storms. So we got a little bit longer. Couple hours. Hour and a half maybe. Claire, I appreciate the sub. Thank you, Claire. So that will create a little bit of instability with that cooling happening in the upper atmosphere, allowing for that partial air at the surface to rise. We'll have to see what happens there. Let's see. Satellite's looking decent here. I want to show you guys. We had good cloud coverage here for the end of the day. Yeah, I'm actually looking out there. There's some more clouds about to move in through your area. Let me actually go to... Let me switch this over to satellite real quick. Let me switch this over to satellite. Let me go to our visible. Give this thing a second to load. Come on. Let's look at our... Here we go. Oh, here, that's the issue. Let's go. Let's get back to the US. 1 second. All right, let's see severe sector 2, severe sector 1. Here we go. Claire, there's been sun mainly here in Clinton. Which Clinton? There's actually a lot of Clintons. It's now somewhat cloudy with some sun. It's Clinton, Michigan, Clinton, Maryland, Clinton, Mississippi, Clinton, South Carolina, Clinton, North Carolina, Clinton, Texas, Missouri. Okay. Yeah, you guys have got a low-level jet that's heading right towards you. You can see this. This is that moisture, and this is that dry air out ahead of it. You're going to start getting some cooling here soon. Where is Clinton, Missouri exactly? Let's see. Wow, it's like the last one that it doesn't even... Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Are you... Okay, so you're kind of out west. So this is going to be a very late night into the very early hours of tomorrow morning threat for you out there in Clinton. I don't know what's going on with our visible radar. It's having issues with the sun. That's what's going on. Let's look at our low level water vapor. All right. You'll be up all night. Definitely have alerts on. Can you give a general analysis for my area tomorrow night? Out of curiosity. Danny. Louisville? Where? Where is it? Oh, Sellersburg, Indiana. Duh. Yeah. Let's go to our HRRR real quick and take this forward. All right. Thank you to anyone who's followed. I appreciate you. Erica, Stacy, I appreciate you guys. All right, here's our HRRR, our latest, our 22Z. Our 22Z. We could even look at SIGTOR here. We'll start off. We'll just take a simple look at... I kind of want to go over to pivotal weather for this, but we'll take a look at it this way first. Let me do this. Let me take the opacity... Let me take the opacity of this down real quick. 1 second. Polygon fill. Okay. So, 1 second. My allergies are killing me. Here we go. Right now, this is on the latest HRRR, so this is thinking between 9 and 11, we really have pretty good initiation out here of these storms. Potentially severe. Can you hear? I'm literally so congested, guys. It's terrible. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2. All right. So this is going to be for Clinton, Missouri, 12 to 2 a.m. Potentially, give or take an hour. These storms speed up and slow down. Now, into Indiana. Let's go back. Let's go to our 18Z. Here we go into Indiana. You start getting some storms moving into central Indiana tomorrow around 4. Give or take an hour is what it looks like right now. And then Sellersburg. Oh, yeah, you are right down there near Louisville. Yeah, we'll have to be watching tomorrow night around 10 p.m. You may be getting 2 rounds. Yeah. You have this first. You have this first. Well, we'll see what happens with this first line. We'll see what happens with this. This one actually behind it. This is going to have less of a chance for tornadoes, in my opinion. This could have a QLCS in it. This is going to be an issue with hail and strong winds associated with that squall line, though. The tornado chances are low, but your tornado chances are going to be with this initial push of storms through your region there in Missouri, Clinton. So, in the early overnight. And then this is probably going to be some hail and strong winds right behind it. I know, nocturnal tornadoes are the worst. Keeping everyone up. I appreciate the follows, guys. Here, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Noah sub. Noah, I appreciate that. What's going on? How's your Saturday? Leanne, what's going on? So glad the OKC radar is back up already. Same. MK, what's going on? Hi, everyone. Making dinner and watching. Sweet. What's going on, dude? Erica with the sub. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Seriously, I appreciate you guys. Good. How's Youngtown looking for tomorrow? Let's take a look at it. Here's the latest. First off, let's go to our kind of tour outlook for tomorrow. So this whole region right here is slight hatch zone. This this may. I thought they put this up to enhanced already. Hold up. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second really quick. Let's go to our day 2 tornado. They only have it as a slight and it's 10% hatch. And then they have the categorical enhanced. All right. So this is our 10% hatch. So hatch means you could have a SIG-Tor, EF2 plus tornado. Most likely if we get one of those or a few of those or a lot of those, probably not a lot, but we'll see. It's going to be in this region. So northern Mississippi, northwestern Alabama, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, and eastern Arkansas. So Youngstown, you talking about Ohio? God, my allergies are destroying me tonight. I haven't had bad allergies in so long. It got really hot today out here near Philly, and I think everything's blooming. All right. I got a big tree in my backyard with all these flowers blooming. So you guys are in that marginal tomorrow. So you guys are in the 2% tomorrow, tornado-wise. Which isn't too dangerous, but it's definitely something to have weather alerts on for. Timing-wise for you. Let's go to our 18Z. Timing-wise for you. Here's that main squall line moving through around really late tomorrow. Somewhere between 10 p.m. and midnight, it looks like. Give or take an hour, these storms speed up or slow down. I'd say you're more likely to have very strong winds and hail with this than a tornado. But an EF1, EF0 is not out of the question out there. At EF2, you're pretty far up. You're probably not going to have that instability, but these winds are going to be whipping up there. Let me see if I can pull up winds. Almost 50 knot winds down at the surface there. This is along the squall line. 50 knot gusts. That would be hurricane force gusts moving through northeastern Ohio. So, you know, something to watch out for. 35 knot, 50, 60 mile per hour gusts. So hail and strong winds. We'll see if that main tornado threat's down into your southwest. Oh my God, right. Columbus, Ohio is very similar. You can see some of these winds wanting to pull through there 40 to 50 knots. That's Cat 1 hurricane gusts. 70, it could be 70, 75. You guys are in a 10% tornado risk zone. You're not in the hatch. Storm Prediction Center isn't expecting you guys to see EF2 plus tornadoes, although it's not impossible. If we were to take a look at our wind and hail, this is our wind. So you've got the slight way up here. You've got the 5%, and then you've got your hatched wind here as well. This is where you could see destructive wind. You could see it in the yellow as well, but it's more likely to be around here in the center. So Columbus, Ohio, the biggest threat tomorrow looks to be the wind. It's going to be really late, somewhere between 9 and 11, most likely, give or take an hour. But anytime... Did I just lose my mouse? 1 second, guys. Did this thing just get unplugged? Oh, it did. Hold up. Hold up. I don't know how I did this, guys. What the heck? Oh, I see. Don't worry, I'm alive, guys. I'm alive. There we go. We're back in business. I just yanked my mouse out. Okay. Weird. Appreciate the follow, okay? Cameron said Detroit. Again, wind and hail is probably your biggest threat for Detroit. You could see an EF2, EF0 out there late tomorrow night. Right now, wind and hail is more of an issue. Subwave, 3 out of 5. I got 8 minutes left. Are you going to be live tomorrow night? Yes, I should be. Yes. I plan on it. I do. I get up for work Monday at like this isn't my full-time job yet, but I get up for work at like 5:30 in the morning Monday. We'll see how late I stay up. I hope for my sake I hope the storm speed up a little bit more. I don't want to be up till 2 a.m. The soundings are looking really interesting on the HRRR for OKC metro area for tonight. I bet we can take a look at that in a second. Take a look at that in a second, man. They're calling for rain all week in St. Louis until next Saturday. Next week, severe weather. This is a pretty significant severe weather event. Next week's looks even crazier. Let's just say that. Shows cap breaking at 11. That cooling as the sun goes, as we get later into the night could help in the upper atmosphere. Someone has a question: is Port Huron, Michigan, getting anything severe at all? Let's take a look where it is. Yeah, I mean, you guys are in kind of a slight for hail and wind. 1 second, guys. 1 second. So yeah, Port Huron, whatever it is, could see severe weather. Could even see tornadoes. Tornadoes, hail, wind is all a possibility. Right now, the biggest threat to you guys is probably going to be wind. With the squall line, with QLCS. It's looking crazy for Youngstown, Ohio next week. Yeah, let me switch over to Pivotal Weather and show you guys what's going on next week. Because we already have a day 5 30% severe risk. Almost in the same spot, almost in the identical spot that our 10% hatch tornado risk is tomorrow. So that's crazy. Let's take a look at the OKC soundings. I want to do that. But that's crazy. And when you look at the setup, look at this. You're going to see rain trail over this region for like 5 straight days. Like look at how this sets up. Here we go. Look at this. It just keeps going. Let me take you to the 12Z. Starts, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. It looks crazy. What looks the most insane to me, though, is our LLJ, lower level jet, exploding from the deep south up through the Midwest in Ohio Valley. This, to me, has the potential to be the biggest severe outbreak we've had thus far this year. Even bigger than the one that we had, has potential to be bigger than the one we had a couple weeks ago where we had 300 tornado warned storms and 100 confirmed tornadoes. I think it was like 60 fatalities. I don't know. We'll see. There's time for this to trend up or trend down. So we need to wait a little bit longer before we take this, too seriously. But 70 knots, 90 mile per hour winds at the surface, right above the surface. And then look at your mid-level jet too. Wow. 135 knots. So it's like 155 mile per hour winds. So that looks crazy. Let's go to the HRRR and take a sounding over OKC real quick. I don't know how I'm gonna do it with my allergies on it. They're driving me crazy. All right, let's see. Let's get in here. SigTor sounding. We can just go straight into our... Here we go. Oh, boy. User 763-617-0014-022. I appreciate the sub. Thank you to anyone who's followed as well. How late am I normally live? It's... I post every day. I go live every night. It's a little off lately just because with work and everything. But if there's severe weather at night, I like to try to be on pretty late. So I'll probably try to stay on until 12 or 1 tomorrow if I have to. If that severe weather outbreak's going on and it's looking pretty decent. You know, if it downtrends and we're not seeing anything too dangerous, I might hop off early. If it's really popping off and we're seeing tornado-warned storms all over the place, I'll probably stay on later. I like to try to cover as much as I can for people. So, but Mesomat, Mesomatt, I'm part of his weather team, and he's going to be live through the entire event. So sometimes people bounce between me and his stream, Mesomat. So look at this sounding, guys. Effective layer STP SigTor Param 5.0. Fixed SigTor Param 6.0. 2100 joules per kilogram. Surface cape is great. Possible hazard type, obviously. Tor. Interesting looking photograph. This is capped. But this is going to break, most likely. Or we think it's going to break. This is some very good directional shear. Southeasterly to almost westerly. And this is some very good velocity shear as well. Low. And then we've got like 45 knots up here. Or higher. Higher. At the 700 millibar level. So, and good dew points. So, yeah. This is a really good looking sounding over Oklahoma City. I mean, a really bad one. It depends how you're looking at it. It's an impressive one for potential SigTor in the area. Doesn't mean it's going to go over. It doesn't mean we're going to have a tornado drop. It just means the ingredients are there. You can have the ingredients for a tornado and you don't get one that touches down. It happens all the time. There's things that need to happen to bring the ingredients together. So that's why nothing's ever guaranteed. But when we look at soundings, we say, well, do we have what we need for a tornado there, a big one? And we look at that and we say, we do. So then we watch it. Max Velocity, the greatest weather content creator. Yeah, I like Max. I've been watching him for a long time. Years. I do like him. Covington, Ohio. Let's take a look. Let me pull up. Excuse my sniffling, guys. We had our first day over the 70s in Philly, and everything is blooming, and my body hates it. Although I don't even know if it's just allergies. I think I'm just getting sick because I haven't had bad allergies in a long time. Yali, what's going on? So wait, we said Evansville or Covington, Ohio. That's right. I'm looking this up. Give me a second. Jeez. Pulled up like 12 different Covingtons before it got there. There we go, Covington, Ohio. I'm looking on my end. On Radar Omega. It does not. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, you guys are in that you guys are in that hatched hail potential or hatched wind. 75 plus mile per hour winds are definitely possible in your area tomorrow night. Tornado, you're in that 10% tornado just to the northeast of that. Just to the northeast here. I'm going to pull this up so you can see it. Let me pull this up so you can see it on your end. Sorry. Let's go to our 4-panel. So, here's your tornado. 10%. Here's your tornado risk zone. 10% not hatched. They're not expecting you to get EF2 pluses, but it's not impossible. You're very close to being in this Gorilla Hail zone, so that'll be interesting to see how things progress throughout the night. This zone has the capability of seeing grapefruit size hail. You could see baseball size hail up here to the northeast. It's not going to be everyone. Storms don't drop hail everywhere when they pass through. They're local. But you are in this hatched wind zone. And a hatched wind zone means destructive, damaging winds are possible. And this is going to be associated with the squall line because this is our tornado winds. So this is non-tornado winds. So this is going to be associated with that QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, big squall line moving through. You could have hurricane force gusts or higher associated with that squall line late Sunday night. It was almost 80 in Ohio. Woo! Appreciate the follows, guys. Why did I have to reclaim my sub? That's weird. Yeah, I don't know, Yali. But I appreciate it. Fade, what's going on? Let's take a look at our latest day 3 out there in New Jersey. Get me out of here. We'll go back to Radar Omega in a second to make sure nothing's going on crazy out there. Just one severe thunderstorm warning just to the southwest of Fort Worth, for anyone who's wondering. No tornado warnings yet out there. We're watching Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and down to north central Texas, including the DFW tonight for tornadoes and hail and wind in general. All right. So we still just have this slight up here. New Jersey is in the slight. Coast is in the marginal. Probabilistic, though, same thing. You know, I don't think we're going to get an enhanced up here. I think our enhanced is going to come through here. But we'll see. We'll see. We don't have much new... We'll get some good details tomorrow. We don't really have, we haven't seen many updates on our day 3, which a lot of times we do get updates on our day 3. I mean, that means they're not upgrading or downgrading our risk zones. They think they're confident in what they're showing. I still think we get it enhanced out there, so we'll see tomorrow. Leanna hit the low to mid 80s in central Oklahoma with dew points in the 60s east of the dry line. That'll stir some things up. The sounding for Oklahoma City tonight shows dew points when things start to fire off in the mid to upper 60s. It's not looking too good for tomorrow night, or for tomorrow, right? Yeah, let's take a look at how this is going to progress. Whoa, Claire with the Galaxy. Claire, you don't have to do that. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Claire. Yali, I appreciate you. All right, so here we go. Here's our reflectivity. Let's go into the... Oh, we're about to get our 00Z. So, these storms, most of these storms want to initiate out to the east of Texarkana. But not necessarily. Let's see. Oh my God. My congestion. Okay, so... This is going to be something to watch out for. I'd say as early as... I would say as early as... God, those things could... This is an interesting look here. I'm interested to see what happens with these out ahead. I don't like the look of these. Yeah, 3... I mean, this could be in the afternoon hours, late afternoon. You could see this initiate late afternoon, even though it's you're probably not hearing it till evening or later in the night. This could initiate late afternoon. Sorry, there we are. Right now, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. 6 p.m. It's tough on this timing. I'd say 5 to 8, you really want to start paying attention because You've got a discrete line that wants to set up ahead here, and then you've got this is associated with your main QLCS. And you can see those long track SIG-Tours up here to the northeast. Well, you know, I don't know if we're going to overperform or underperform down there in eastern Texas. You guys are in the, let's see. You are in the Hatched Wind and Hail. Gorilla Hail will be possible. Some pretty strong winds with the squall line as well. And then you are in the 10%. So you guys might you guys might overperform, unfortunately. I don't like when I see on the HRRR reflectivity all these. One second, guys. I don't like when I see all these, you know, popcorn discrete cells showing up like this down here. That can have a more damaging effect than your squall line. They have a much better inflow in here. They can stay healthy a lot longer. They can get intensify much quicker. So just pay attention tomorrow. I would start paying attention as early as tomorrow, 4 p.m. I don't think you're going to see anything until later in the evening, but there's some weird cells initiating in the afternoon hours in and around that area that I hope stay tamed. Yeah, Gorilla Hail. Yeah, hopefully grapefruits aren't falling from the sky where you are, Yali. Let's just say that. Yeah. Violent, a little thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Those damn warm waters of the Gulf. Kyle, sorry, I just saw that. Let's see here. Wiener Dog, I appreciate the follow. I like your name. I like your name. Hey, can I show you? Well, actually, is it still going to show it? 1 second. Hold up. Oh, it's gone. Oh, guys, can I get immature for a second? Guys, can I show you something funny real quick? Chat. Which state has it the worst, do you think? Southeastern Missouri, Western Kentucky, I feel like. But we'll see. Yali said, oh gosh. Listen, I saw Matt, and I didn't even notice this. I saw Matt in his video earlier today. I couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't help but laugh at this categorical. Guys, I couldn't help but laugh at this. SBC, what are you doing? Come on. Listen, the Storm Prediction Center knew exactly what they were doing with this, guys. Okay? This isn't a map I made. This is the official National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Storm Prediction Center. Okay? I didn't make this. And it makes it, you know, this makes it worse out here. Am I wrong? This makes it worse. Cuz like it's one thing if you didn't have all this out to the east going on, but this whole setup here, I'm just saying. I think they're trolling us. Anyways. I need to screenshot that just for a later date because it's so funny. We may never see as comical of a categorical outlook as this. Okay. Anyways, let's get serious here, guys. Stop messing around. Let's get serious here. You know, they definitely know. I've seen quite a few outlooks like this as of late. Penetration Central. Oh God. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of severe weather penetrating through the Central Plains. All right, enough, chat. Oh Lord. All right, let me take a quick sip of this Red Bull, guys. My son seems to be having a good time out there. Andrea, what's going on? My allergies are so bad right now. I can't hear. I can't hear like my. You know when your sinuses get so tense that you can't hear? What the? Oh, this is driving me nuts. I literally have not had this bad of allergies in years. Okay, I can hear myself again. I need the headphones. Am I screaming? If I'm screaming, it's because I can't hear myself, guys. Now, if they keep that and add a level 4 risk, I'll have a bullseye. I know. Let's look at our MPass. Let's look at our MPass. Guys, this is a new model. And, okay, so I want you to take a little look-see up here. I don't know if you can see this up here on TikTok, but experimental NSSL MPass. Runs are subject to the available blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's a new model that sometimes sees things that other models don't, and sometimes it's really impressive. And, what does MPass stand for? Mesoscale Potential Analysis Systems? I don't even know what MPass stands for, guys, if I'm being honest. 1 second. Google AI will probably tell me. Model for prediction across scales. I wasn't close, but it's a newer model. And it does some really good stuff. And notice Sigtor, that little area right there, that little line through there, to the southwest of Oklahoma City. 7-ish p.m. tonight. That was wrong. Right? This was on the 12Z. Unless the timing on this is different. But it's showing. Look at this. It's showing some decent tornado potential in here. You see this little? You see that little outline in there? That's right near OKC. Which I don't love. That'd be to the south, I believe, of OKC. But this squall line here has the potential to overperform. I hope it underperforms. But yeah, the dry line's pretty steep through here, and the dew points are crazy out ahead. Tonight. What is my son laughing about? It also shows a Sigtor way down here, which is interesting. Can you guys hear my son cracking up in the background? Anyway, I can get an update on Northwest Ohio for tomorrow. Yeah, let's look at that. Let me make sure there's nothing going on in real time right now. Okay. Our storms have not initiated yet. I just looked at Radar Omega. Okay. We are... Well, speak of the devil. We do have another severe thunderstorm. Warning. Just to the southwest of Fort Worth. Doesn't look too crazy right now. We'll wait a little bit. Everyone still looks safe down there. Doesn't look too crazy. I'll keep watching that with my third eye. Northwest Ohio. Let's get in here. Let's go to our HRRR. You know what I'll actually do? I'll show you this on Radar Omega. It'll be easier. And then you guys can see what's going on with the severe weather. We just got another severe thunderstorm warning down here. You can see these storms are starting to initiate down here. You'll start to see these initiating very shortly. Let's go into our HRRR model for Northwestern Ohio. All right, here we go. Actually, we're getting the 0-0Z in very shortly, guys. All right. So, pushing in, and you guys, you can see you are in that 10% tornado risk. You are in a hatched wind risk, too. 75 plus mile per hour gusts are possible up there in northwestern Ohio. You could get some pretty good hail, too. We'll have to see. These storms right now, based off the latest data, sometimes they speed up, slow down, look to start creeping into northwest Ohio around 7 p.m., give or take an hour tomorrow. And you may take maybe between 7 and 9, maybe between 6 and 8, maybe between 8 and 10. Sometimes these slow up and speed up or slow down, but right as you get into those evening hours. But right now it looks like 7 to 9. It looks like 7 to 9 is your time frame. But again, you got to give it a little leeway there because these storms don't just stay the same speed the whole time. Rayma, is that how you pronounce it? I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Kelly, what's going on? Thank you for the follows, guys. Follows and subs. Thank you. This old critter had to screen cap it. What's Azlastine? What MK? What's that? What are you talking about? You speaking a different language? What's going on, Shane? Constance with the sub. I appreciate that. Yali just made me a cowboy. Thanks, Yali. They're saying more of a wind and hail threat. Do you agree with that? Or should tornadoes be... No, it's more of a tornado and hail threat. You could get a tornado up here. It's going to be tough to get an F2 plus up here. EF0s, EF1s can rip up, your roof or damage your roof, rip down power lines and trees. Typically, you don't see a lot of casualties with EF1, EF0. They're not considered, significant. That's why we call it SIG-TORs, EF2 plus. You could get a couple little twisty boys up here that do a little bit of damage if it's a tornado. You don't look to have the right ingredients for SIG-TOR up here, although it's not impossible. It's not highly likely. You have the right ingredients for potentially with this squall line 75 plus mile per hour gusts, which could knock out a lot of power. That's what happened to us out here a couple weeks ago. We lost power because freaking wind was whipping through here. And hail's possible. You could get up to, I would say, baseball size hail up here as well. So, up here. So, yeah, your tornado threat isn't as doesn't make me as nervous. Every time you get a cowboy hat, you've got to say howdy. Deal. Brittany, I appreciate that. What about northeastern Illinois tomorrow? Yeah, up near Chicago. Raymond, I appreciate that. I got you. Yeah, you guys, there's potential again for EF0, EF1 tornadoes. Gusty winds, probably 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts are possible. Small hail. The worst of the severe weather does look to be south of, a good amount south. Central Illinois and south, I would say south of this line, it looks to be the worst of it. Or just a little bit more intense than you guys up there. It's not going to be a fun day, but we're not expecting super damaging storms to move through northeastern Illinois. Have your weather alerts on, though. Rima? It's Rima or Rima. I can't make up my mind. I appreciate the sub. Could you please check for anything coming to Nebraska? I'm in Bellevue area. Yeah. Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate you. No problem. Violent? I know that's not your name, but that's your name now. I'm calling you Violent. Yeah, so Nebraska, Bellevue. One second. Let's see. Here we go. That's a nice little looking town right near a river and a bunch of farmlands. Oh, close to Omaha. Yeah, so let's look at this. I think you guys are actually going to be, well, but before I say this, let's look at the latest HRRR. I think this stuff's going to be down to the south and east of you. But if we go back here and we look at our, you guys are in that 5% hail risk. Let's take a look at this. You're in that 5% wind, and are you in that 2% tornado? No. So hail, according to the SPC, we are watching out for some wind and hail up here. We can take a look at the timing tonight. If this will load for me, give me a second. But I think you're looking pretty good. Right now, let me actually go to the live radar, because what is going on up there right now? So you do have some storms beginning to fire up around you. So that's interesting. But I think a lot of this, the worst stuff you can see, I think a lot of the worst stuff is going to be in these areas down to the south of you. Let me go back to the HRRR. So as we move through the night, look, that looks to be over soon for you. All that instability is going to be out to your east. I mean, the HRRR wants this to be over by 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. 2.5 hours, and it looks like you're not going to be getting the worst of it. So let's hope that stays like that. You're almost in the general thunderstorm area too, so which is just thunderstorms and no severe weather. So you're looking pretty safe up there. No problem, Constance. Thank you for the update. I'm going to eat now. Catch you later. All right, y'all. I'll see you later. Rima. Got it. Rima. Yeah, because I said Rima at first, and then I reread it, and I was like, I think I'm wrong. It looks like Rima. Yeah, no problem, Rima. I appreciate the stuff. That was really kind. Thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, for anyone who's new in here, I post updates every day on whatever it is. Whether we got severe weather or it's winter and we've got snowstorms or hurricanes, whatever. I just post updates of what's going on in the continental United States every day. So the lower 48, as they call it. And I stream every night. Well, at least usually. Sometimes I miss a night. But usually I stream every night. Sometimes during the day and the weekends. Wow. HRRR is expecting storms to really begin to fire up super soon, within the hour. And we can kind of see that happening right now. Let me go actually to our hail. We can see, here we go. We're starting to see our first thunderstorms begin to flare up. We got a bunch through here. We got a bunch here. Some up there. Look at these cells. These are the beginning of this initiation here, of the initiation of these of this severe weather event. God, Radar Omega, I think, has gotten so many new people on the app lately that it's just been running so slow. I miss when, I got on this app a long time ago when, not a lot of people knew about it. It was so smooth because no one used it. I think their servers get overloaded now. Can we get a Connor Goes International segment real quick? What do you want me to look at? What's going on around the globe? We do have a tropical depression. Here, actually, let me go back here. We've got, what is that? What do we have right now? Cat 1? No, this is actually almost a Cat 3 hurricane out here in the middle of the Indian Ocean. So that's interesting. Yes, I agree, Sam. Be safe. Have weather alerts on, everyone. No, I actually have a super strong allergy medication. That's why I haven't had any allergy problems for years. I think, yeah, this isn't normal. I almost never have, sinus issues or congestion or, I've actually been doing really good lately. That's why it's bothering me so much. That's why I'm also thinking maybe I just have a cold because I haven't had, you know. Well, yeah, I'm just doing, yeah, confused blonde. What's going on? Yeah, I'm just doing the sub only chat right now because I'm waiting for these storms to initiate. Damaging winds and light hail are possible on Monday gaming out there in New Jersey, but we'll have to see. We haven't seen any change in the SBC right now. Oh, the as isn't hit. Yeah, yeah, no. I know. I'm good on that. I take something from Acredo that's like really good. I don't usually have allergy issues. Let's see. Anywhere thoughts on Antarctica? Worried about the penguins, man? Nah, they're chilling. The penguins are fine. Look at how much ice they have. They're good. All right, let's zoom back in here. We are starting to see a lot of storms begin to fire up here. I would say within the next hour, we're probably going to see 5 to 10 severe thunderstorm warnings through this region, with maybe 1 or 2 tornado warnings. I think things are going to fire up that quickly. I really do. I do. Remember only mead. I know, Fade. I know. No, Fade. I'm growing my YouTube. Okay, Fade. I just we're getting merchant soon. We have all the ideas and everything. You can see it over on the U. That's what I'll call it. You can see it being shown on the bottom left. Fade, I'm sending you 2 of whatever items you want for free since you're the first and only member on YouTube. Mark my words. Clip that. Okay? I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I've spent so much time building my TikTok, but I got to grow over there in the U. Do you know where I'd be able to find a general tornado chart for this upcoming tornado season? Well, what do you mean by a tornado chart? Like, let me see. Last tornado season, it was unpredictable. I have no clue if it's credible. Like, what's expected to happen this season? I'll tell you this, Rima. DYW, I appreciate that. And Cherry with the sub. I appreciate you, Cherry. I will tell you this. Dixie Alley, where we're seeing these severe weather events, that's a little bigger than what Dixie Alley is, but this region is expected to see the worst severe weather this spring over the next couple to a few months. So typically, you know, we got Tornado Alley and Dixie Alley. Typically, Tornado Alley is a little bit worse, but things have been shifting east. The Gulf is super warm. We're in a neutral to La Nina, which is going to pull a lot of this moisture farther out here with that meridional troughing, the way these troughs are going to be ejecting through a little bit farther out east. You're still, you know, this tornado season is expected to be above average. Why? We're going to be in a La Nina, weak La Nina. Enzo neutral, and when you have that, you have a much more loose, wobbly jet stream, and that causes a lot more of your opposite air boundaries to collide. A lot more cold and warm air collision, and a lot more moist, dry air collision than when we're in an El Nino and you have those tight jet streams that aren't really colliding as much, you know, opposite air boundaries across the U.S. You typically see about active seasons in La Nina and Enzo neutral. And this season especially is expecting to be worst out east. Doesn't mean we couldn't have some bad severe weather breakouts in Tornado Alley this spring. Because, you know, it's Tornado Alley. But if that makes you feel any better. Cherry, I appreciate you. Pamela, I appreciate that. Thank you for the sub, Pamela. Carolina Alley. Yeah, Carolina Alley's tiny. I would say Carolina Alley is going to be above average as well. That's basically Carolina Alley. Then you got Hoosier Alley up here. What's going on, Pam? Let's see. Is Cincinnati in that? Well, we got to watch Cincinnati tomorrow for a few reasons. This right here is a hatched wind risk. This is a 30% hatched wind risk. So what these hash marks mean is significant wind. Significant wind is possible, meaning you could get up to, 75 plus mile per hour gust through Cincinnati tomorrow into the evening hours, into late night. So as that squall line passes over, you're going to have windy conditions. Are you going to have that windy of conditions? It's being forecast, but we'll see. So let's go to the 18Z. So for Cincinnati, here we go. This is your main event right here. And it really looks to initiate around 7, 8 p.m. And we could be watching that area until about 1 or 2 a.m. into Monday. So this is late night Sunday into Monday morning. The squall line is going to be packing a punch with some hail and wind. If we were to take a look at our hail, you're just outside of this hatched hail zone. This is where there's the possibility of Gorilla Hail 4-inch plus. Doesn't mean everyone in here is going to see hail at all. Just the atmospheric ingredients are here for some people to see Gorilla Hail. No one wants to see grapefruits falling from the sky, but you guys are right outside of that. So, Gorilla Hail to baseball size hail is a possibility as well. Have weather alerts on late tomorrow night into tomorrow morning, Sunday night into Monday morning. Again, when people see these big warning zones and they get freaked out, 99.9% of people in these zones aren't going to experience any severe weather. You're going to experience bad weather. Bad weather. Yes, 100% of you are going to experience bad weather because we've got a squall line, and that covers everyone. Now, the severe weather, the significant severe weather, the Gorilla Hail, EF2 tornadoes, and 100-mile-per-hour gusts, that's going to affect a much smaller area, a lot less people out here. So there's no reason to be overly concerned. Just be weather alert. You're all going to have this very strong squall line moving over, and it's going to be raining heavy, and it's going to be windy. But you're not all going to experience huge hail and tornadoes. And, I do think that this squall line does have the potential to bring 50 to 60 mile per hour winds for a lot of gusts for a lot of people, but that 75 to 100 is what we're worried about. I'll subscribe so I can pop in and bug you about the way things are looking. Rima, that's what I'm here for. I'm posting every day and I'm on every night. That's what I'm here for. You can bug me as much as you want. I'm gonna try to do more of these. I haven't done sub only streams in a while, but I'm trying to do that. Speaking of that, Fade as well. I'm gonna start doing member only chats over on YouTube. You're gonna be the only one in there, but I want to build my community over on YouTube. I like doing stuff. It's way more relaxing to be doing a sub only chat and a member only chat over on, we're gonna call it the U because I don't know if I can say it on stream. I'm on both, guys, right now, if you don't know, YouTube and TikTok. So a lot of people multi-stream. It's just there's a weird gray area. I don't know if they like it or not. But it's much more calm, and I'm with people who actually are asking good questions. When I get out of sub only mode, you always get spammers and people who are rude, and it's stressful, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to ask questions and stuff. But I love being in sub chat and people who have been with me for a little bit, you start to recognize people, and I like that I'm building a community, and so it's cool. But I'll be out of sub chat a little bit later once this initiation happens down here, which it's getting close. I actually really quickly. I will, Pam. I appreciate that. Just checking with you to see if maybe you magically changed the weather for tomorrow night. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. Oh, yeah, Reem, I just saw that. Yeah, I guess last spring was pretty bad for some people. Leanne, couple chasers think the first NATO is going to be around Enid. Is it Enid? The chaser on radar, Omega, sitting in El Reno, is looking right at it. Let's look.
Spam us, anybody. I'm not going to open your email if you're just spamming us, but...
You're right. He's thinking something's going to initiate right out here. I do too. When I was looking at that MPass, which does really well with like the location of the where these storms are going to ignite, it loved this area right here. If I were him, I'd be to the south because it's sketchy being up to the northwest. That's the direction these tornadoes move. But whatever, he's a tornado chaser. He probably knows much better than I do. Not what he does. You know what I mean? He's probably understands why he's there. So, but it's an aggressive location to be. Severe threat. What's going on, Charles? Yeah, Charles, you're late. You have no obligation to me. The severe threat. It's looking. Let's take it back out to tonight for a second. It's looking a little spicy. It increased a little bit for tonight. We've got the hatched tail threat. We've got a hatched wind threat. We've got a 10% tornado threat or tornado risk zone. We don't have a hatch though on our tornado. Do we have a hatch? We should have a hatch on our tornado threat tonight. Do we have a hatch on our tornado threat tonight? We don't. And I don't know why we don't, because you've got the HRRR and MPass models showing SIGTORs. So I don't know. Maybe they should put a hatch on here for an abundance out of an abundance of caution. SIGTOR, significant tornadoes, guys. Enid, okay. Realistically, as things stand, what are the most severe risk for us folks in Dallas-Fort Worth? Or is it too early? Well, like we just looked at, oh, they don't even have... Okay, there's your wind threat. You could get 60-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts tonight, easily. But this is not guaranteed, but there are ingredients in the atmosphere down here for gorilla hail. When you get this hatched, I don't know if gorilla hail, baseball or bigger, baseball size hail or bigger. So it can be pretty damaging. So I would say, that all, but the thing is, the MPass is showing potential tornadoes down here. I think you'll only get one or two, possibly. You know what? Don't take my word for it. I don't like telling people like it's not going to be. I don't want to have your weather alerts on and be paying attention here, because this is what we call conditional. This could be much worse than we think. It could be not as bad as we think. There's capping on a lot of these systems, and there's a chance the cap doesn't break and we get nothing. But if it does, it's like that loaded gun thing where you get the cape exploding and suddenly we've got a bunch of tornadoes over here that we didn't expect. It's a very conditional setup, which makes me nervous because it's hard to predict. We have, again, when you have a cap, the atmosphere is not letting the thunderstorm build up. That means you're safe. You get into the evening time, the upper atmosphere cools. You get instability from that warm air that now is warmer than the parcel of air at the surface is warmer than the environment around it, and suddenly you get an explosion upwards of moisture, condensing latent heat, fuel, and you get a big explosion of severe weather. And does it happen or not is the question. Pay attention. You could get a SIGTOR down anywhere in here, I think, because it's such a conditional setup. Right now, it's looking like a hail is your biggest issue, and maybe some gusty winds down there in Dallas-Fort Worth. But you want to pay attention. Kyle, I appreciate that. Kyle with the super chat. It's game time. Lock in Connor, and I'll be safe. It's game time, baby. No, yeah. Listen, I always say, I there's people who get in my chat sometimes, and they're like, "Why are you making jokes? Blah blah blah. This is serious." Here's how it works, guys. I can't change the weather. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. There's enough people who are having anxiety and are nervous about this stuff. There's no reason to sit here and fearmonger and freak out. And be like, you're not going to be okay. What's going to happen is happen, and we're going to cover it. And you know, and if we see anything bad happening, we'll make sure people in that area understand and they're in a safe spot. We can't change the weather. All we can do is report it. You know what I mean? Yeah, no hatch for tonight, tornado wise, and I don't know. Let's get Matt on the phone. Let's get Matt on the phone. Because I want to know why there's no hatch. 1 second, guys. Carmen, I appreciate the sub. Thank you, Carmen. Jenna, thank you for the sub. I'll get to your guys' questions. Give me 1 second.
Are you on stream?
I'm on stream. Don't say anything incriminating.
I am too.
Hey, I've been talking to chat. What do you think about them putting no hatch on tonight?
What do you mean? For
Tornado. There's on the HRRR and the MPAST. There's SIGTOR potential tonight. Not.
yeah, there is, and it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. So.
SBC is gonna update in 10 minutes, so that's what I was thinking too. I don't know if we get a 10% or not because it's so conditional.
Well, we have a 10% Oklahoma City to Tulsa.
Right, and that's for hail, right?
No, that's our tornado right now.
Did it update?
That's what it's been. Go look at it.
The risk says 2 and 5%.
Am I going crazy? Here, give me a second.
You might be looking at tomorrow's.
Let's see here.
Yeah, OKC and Tulsa is 5%, 2% outside of it.
2 and 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that they should go hatched on this though?
I could see it conditional.
Did I say 10? Did I say 10%?
Yeah.
Sorry. Whatever.
No, you're fine. I could see a 10%. It's so conditional though, and I'm just looking at radar. Storms are fighting cap right now.
I know they are. I was talking with Chad about that. But you know what happens when the sun sets.
Yeah.
So-
I could see it. I could see an
so-
upgrade if they wanted to.
And here's the thing: if the cap starts to break in some of these areas, it's gonna break everywhere. I think.
Yeah. I was seeing some posts about April 19, 2023 with the marginal and the Fujiwara EF3s and outside.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying to Chad. I was saying this is super conditional. Like this to me looks like it's going to be all or nothing, and
Yeah.
the capping is going to be the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. The cap breaks, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I'm staring at this radar, and I'm just waiting for things to explode. We'll see.
I
Oh.
think we have a low level jet of like 60 knots tonight. Is that true? Is that what you were seeing too?
Let me actually take another look at that. Let me go 23Z. 1 second, chat.
45 to 50 knots, I think. Okay, yeah, I looked at that wrong. Yeah, but actually 60 up towards Tulsa at 1 a.m.
Yeah, I'm seeing a 65 in northwestern Arkansas. That's in the morning. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, we get up into the mid 50s. Tulsa, yeah, 60, almost 60 knots. Yeah, near Tulsa.
Yeah, and we got 2 inch hail now in Texas.
So that's not bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Updated, let me know.
Yeah, if anything happens, I'll hit you up a little bit later.
Sounds good, Bob.
All right, see you. All right. Let's get back to here, guys. What do we got? There we go. We got a line of severe thunderstorm warnings down here. So here, let me get back up to Carmen and Jenna. Guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate anyone who subbed, followed. Thank you guys just being in here. Obviously, help my algorithm out. You know, trying to grow. I appreciate you guys. What are we thinking for Southeast Missouri? And the reason I'm wearing these tonight is because I can't hear myself because of my allergies. What are we thinking tonight for Southeast Missouri? Or what are we thinking for Southeast Missouri tomorrow afternoon? What was I reading? Especially Cape. Okay, let's try to pronounce this. Gerardo? We're going to say that's what it is. Okay, so tomorrow afternoon, let's quickly, I want to get down to Carmen's question too. Let's do this. So this is going to be Southeast Missouri. Let's take a look at our 23Z. We need our 00s. Yeah, we got to go back to our 18. There we go. Let's go into Cape I want to see exactly where this is. Okay. So things look like they're going to start going downhill around 5 p.m., give or take an hour. These things don't always move at the perfect pace. That's looking pretty decent. Let me look over on my side real quick. Over on Pivotal Weather at the reflectivity around that time. Give me 1 second. I'm looking. I don't want to keep changing screens. I'm a little bit nervous about that area. Long track sig tours is what we're seeing on the HRRR. So I'm concerned. I would say you're in the worst of all worlds, no offense. But again, there's more of a chance you don't see a tornado or super severe damaging wind. Don't get nervous, but this region highly needs to pay attention as you push into. Let's start paying attention by 3 p.m. tomorrow, just in case this stuff starts early, but it probably won't start that early, but pay attention by 3 p.m. tomorrow. You are in SIG-TOR territory. EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. 2, 3, 4 inch hails possible. And you're in that hatched wind risk as well, 75 plus mile per hour gusts. Southeastern Missouri is going to be it's going to be a little sketch ball for a couple hours as this moves over. Again, tornadoes are if you think about the size of the country, the tornadoes are little tiny things on this map. Most people aren't even ever going to see one. But be alert, Jenna. That's what I would say. Carmen, you said, are we getting tornadoes? Dallas, Texas. Yeah, so we're watching tonight. You guys definitely have a hail threat. You definitely have a hail threat tonight. We already have almost 2 inch hail, considerable damage threat, 60 mile per hour gust down to your southwest. 2 inch hail, 65 mile per hour wind gust, considerable damage, another one down to your southwest, and golf ball size hail. So this is all heading up towards the Dallas-Fort Worth region. It's moving out to the east and to the northeast. These storm and you're going to see more of these fire up overnight. So tornado chances are low, not impossible. Hail is going to be associated with some of this stuff and some gusty winds. We're not expecting a big squall line over this region. So there's a chance some areas don't get the severe weather, but yeah, this stuff is initiating in the next hour down there, and things are going to go downhill for some areas. So just make sure you have weather alerts on. That's an interesting name. Yeah, I mean, you guys are in that hatched hail. Yeah, so Dallas metro area. Had rough storms come through about 2 weeks ago with several EF2, EF3 tornadoes. Yeah. I was covering that live. That was crazy. We were covering that live. Yep. Covering those tornadoes that were some of those damaging ones through Missouri. Those SIG tours. Let's see here. I love when I pronounce names right. It doesn't happen very often. Ooh, what's this? No problem, Carmen. Check out the velocities on the farthest south severe storm. Okay. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Carmen. Yes, Fade. You do have shear in here. Let's look. Yeah, I mean, you could have a funnel cloud forming down here. Hopefully not. That's hail. That's a hail core right there. I don't think that's a debris field, but that's a hail core right there. Some decent hail. I think it might be bigger than golf ball size. Velocities are looking pretty spicy as well. Pretty spicy. I mean, they're not looking super high, but you have that kind of rotation look there. I said they because it wasn't in town, but oh yeah. Cape luckily stayed in the clear. It was mainly southwest of Cape. You're good. Yeah. I saw a lot. I was watching some that were south central Missouri, and then like central Missouri, and then east central Missouri. Fort Wayne, Indiana tomorrow, Joshua. Joshua, I appreciate the sub. Let's take a look in here. Fort Wayne, Indiana tomorrow. Let's go to our 18Z. All right. Here we go. Timing for you guys really looks like 6 p.m., give or take an hour or two. These things are going to want to start moving in. You guys are in that hatched wind zone, meaning 75 plus mile per hour gusts with this squall line are possible. Some big baseball size hail is possible too. Neither of those are guaranteed, so don't worry. But they're possible. The ingredients in the atmosphere will be there to produce large hail and strong winds. Doesn't mean they're gonna, and it's not going to for everyone along this line. But for some people it will. But for most people it won't. But some people it will. Your SIGTORs look to remain to your south. We're watching SIGTOR potential in this region to your south. Not impossible to get an EF2 plus up here. It's just not very likely. Your dew points are going to be a little low. That's one of the main issues. And not just that there's just too much congestion with this out here. You want these kind of discrete cells out ahead for that type of situation. This is just a QLCS. Something to pay attention to. Yep. Praying me luck out again. I'll be making myself comfortable in the basement with my son, I'm sure. Yeah, you guys should be good. You guys should be good. I'll be covering that tomorrow. I'll be online for that most likely. Les8980. I appreciate that. Les, I appreciate that. Feds, what's going on? Thank you, Les. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm probably going to switch out of sub-only mode. What I'm probably going to do is get off here in about 10 minutes, but just for a little bit. Because I'm waiting for some of these storms to really initiate. I might get off for like 30 minutes and then get back on. And then I'm going to get back on out of sub-chat mode. Just so I can have a break before, we're watching to see what happens here. But I'm not done for the night. I'm just going to take a little break. Just realized the flash flood emergency. That's not great. Oh, thanks for calling that out. Whoa, what's happening? We've got another one. 1 second. All right, flash flood emergency. PDS, particularly dangerous situation. Thanks for calling this out. Just to the east and south and east of, just to the north of St. George, to the east of Baton Rouge. Radar indicated damage threat catastrophic at 7:48 p.m. Central Time. So this is literally 9 minutes ago. Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 3.5 to 4.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area. A flash flood emergency. Guys, flash flood, there's watches, warnings, and emergencies. Emergencies are the most dangerous one. I mean, I think last year we only had 24 flash flood emergencies the entire year. This is dangerous. So this is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. Life-threatening flash flooding. Take this seriously if you're in this area. Just to the north of St. George, Louisiana, just to the east of Baton Rouge. Flash flood emergency. What was that 11th alert that came up? It was probably another. We do still have this 2-inch hail around Comanche, Texas, and Eastland, Texas. Almost 2-inch hail as well around Brown, Texas, Palo Pinto, Parker, Texas, Brown, Texas. Considerable damage threats for all these areas except for that around the brown area. Les, love from Tallahassee, FSU. You know where I went to school, Les? Do you know where I went to college? Florida State. I went to Florida State. Go Noles. Embarrassing football season, but yeah, you know, one of the person who created Tropical Tidbits is from Florida State. Bet around 9:40 they start up. 9:40 Central or Eastern, do you think? I think Eastern. So I would say, yeah, like 40 minutes. Boom. We're getting more. Here we go. Golf ball size hail. This storm out here is expanding a little bit. Let's go take a little deeper dive in here. Watch the hail video out of Texas. It was insane. I might have missed that. Les, I appreciate that sub, man. Quinn with the sub. I seriously do appreciate you guys. Any sub, any follow, anyone just being in chat, any of this gets me a little bit closer to my goal one day of doing this full time. So it is greatly appreciated. We have some serious shear down here. This looks like a funnel cloud wanting to form. Just because you have a funnel cloud doesn't mean you're going to have a tornado. But there's some good rotation in there. And sometimes you can see the rotation in the reflectivity as well. Look at that. Look at those high cloud tops. You see when you get those super light pit right there? So you see when they go like white blue? Those are typically clouds that are trying to bust through the tropopause. We say 99.9% of the weather on Earth happens in the troposphere because sometimes when you get these crazy severe thunderstorms, you have such strong updrafts that they push the weather into the stratosphere. The stratosphere isn't supposed to have weather. I mean, not thunderstorms. But when you get this type of look, those are those anvil type clouds where they're pushing into. These are some sketchy looking little thunderstorms down here, guys. We got to pay attention to these. We got to pay attention to these. Headed up towards the DFW. And we're going to see more. I think we're going to see more forming here. I think we're going to see a line that continues to form. Basically, the middle 1/3 of Oklahoma is under tornado watch now. Here, I'll turn on my watches so we can see that. Quinn, what's going on? So the main concern is isolated supercells, not squall lines for SIGTORs. Yes. Yeah. Let me explain that in 1 second. Correct. If I turn on my watches, sometimes they just take up my whole screen, so I don't. There it is. Yeah, there's all our watches. Yes. So let's go really quick to the HRRR. Here is the issue. When you get a bunch of thunderstorms like this, let me go back here for a second. When you get more isolated cells, okay, let's actually move this out farther. I want to show you into tomorrow. So I want you to notice something. When you start to see these things, isolated cells, we call this popcorn, discrete cells. A squall line like this is fighting. And now this isn't a perfect squall line. You still have some things forming out ahead of it. Okay, as this thing moves off to the east and it consolidates like this, you're typically going to start just seeing EF1, EF0s. Why? All this squall line that's all consolidated, it's all fighting for the same energy, okay? When you have this inflow, all the storm up here is fighting for that, the storm here is fighting for that, and the storm here is fighting for that inflow. They're all fighting for it. So no one gets a ton of good inflow or a ton of strong, it's sharing the energy. So everyone's energy is less. It's the easiest way to put it. When you have these discrete cells, like we do, as this thing starts to move in to, you know, southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois. Oops, one second, guys. And you start to see these more singular, you know, all these. They're not fighting with anything. They've got inflow for days, all to itself. All to itself. You've got this large class of clear air out ahead. There's not a bunch of rain-cooled air. Clear inflow. This thing is just cranking up. It becomes a self-sufficient engine. Whereas when you start to see this thing really come together like this, this is just, there's too much going on in here. Okay, you get this inflow in, and it's spread out. The energy is spread out through the system, so you're not going to have a super big tornado anywhere, but you do have a chance to have a lot more tornadoes. So that with the QLCS setup, you could have like 20 tornado warn storms up and down here, but none of them are likely going to be super strong. Meanwhile, when you have that kind of discrete setup, and you get that popcorn discrete cell setup like we see out here, which it's not showing down here too, but we expect that to be down here as well. That's when you get the more dangerous tornadoes. They get to hog the airspace, basically. Hitting like does help. MK, I appreciate that. Is Denton, Texas going to be hit hard? Let's go look at Denton, Texas. A lot of times, once you get a squall line consolidating like that too, there's going to be some moisture that falls ahead of the squall line. Not always, and that can cool some of the air out ahead of it too, and so your instability isn't as high. No problem, Quinn. So yeah, the popcorn, discrete, little dots all over the map. Those are supercells that we really worry about. Those are thunderstorms we worry about. Not that we've never had a SIG Tor and a squall line. They're just not that common. Denton, Texas. Yes, you guys are in that hatched hail tonight. Baseball size plus hail is possible. You could get some gusty winds, 60 plus mile per hour gusts, maybe even up to 75 potentially. Not guaranteed. Your tornado chances aren't super high, although we're seeing a little bit of rotation and some pretty good shear down here in these storms, so I would have weather alerts on just in case. Yeah. You know, not looking super crazy severe, but it's looking a little sketchy in this area. Some big hail and strong winds are definitely possible. So hopefully the tornado chances stay capped. No problem, Quinn. Don't dox yourself. Don't dox yourself, John. All right, so what I might do is get off here for like 10, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then hop back on. But I'll be out of sub-only mode or sub-chat mode. And then over on the U as well. Hop off and then I'll get back on. Anyone who's followed subs, I really appreciate you guys. Gift it. Yeah, eat. Hang out. Relax for a second. Anyone who's just been in chat with me, though, you don't have to gift. You don't have to sub. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It helps, but you do not have to do that stuff. I just appreciate anyone who's in here hanging out with me in the stream. And I'm hoping to give you some good information. So I'll be back on in a little bit. So if you do want to see when I get back on, you can throw me a follow, and you should see when I get back on here. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Les. All right, take a little break, and then I will be back.